Hey everyone, welcome to Narain's Eye with MS. This is Narain, and it's time for a thoughtful Thursday. And this thoughtful Thursday, I thought I'd be a little, funny about it because there was something that was very funny that happened today. Um, Long story short, so yesterday I ended up having an extra meal. I had 3 meals yesterday, and the result of that was that I was pretty gassy this morning, which made yoga pretty eventful. Now, why am I sharing all of this? Because obviously mishaps happened, but more so than that, I found out that I am very good at being humorous, especially when I'm the punchline of said joke. So the punchline I made was that I was doing the cobra and then I had to do a mountain after that, yoga asanas that you can very easily learn. And so the joke I made was that by about it turned into a volcano, and it definitely got a lot more disc disc discs than laughs, but I know everyone wanted to laugh. But at that same time, I realized that it is so easy to turn, a negative event into something comical so easily. And considering that, I'm doing it, I'm pretty much reclaiming my own mishap. Not that I'm not that I am a, not that I am accepting or redeeming myself for it, but at least you know if something bad happens and I'm involved in it, at least I get to be the one to crack the joke on it, just so people know that at least I am a little more, I see the humor in it. And when I do say this, I come from a standpoint where knowing that you have MS, you have a certain autoimmune condition, and your life is probably not going to be what it was beforehand, it's very easy to it's very easy to use as sort of a common ground for feeling overly negative, feeling depressed, all of those things. And of course, humor is not exactly the cure for that, but at least it can, you know, give you some peace of mind in knowing that, you're at least, making light. You're making the event lighter, and you're also taking light of, the event that happened. Of course, not all of them are essentially, you know, backside involved, but you'd be very surprised as to how many of those things actually tend to happen, especially with something like MS. So, it's so the one thing I learned was that, I could stay embarrassed I could feel sad about it and just always be sort of a loner about that one event, or I could just laugh about it. And I decided to do just that and decided to make a joke about it, right? Some light-hearted stuff. So I want to know from you, what are some of the biggest jokes that you do make about yourself, just to, reclaim yourself, just so that you don't, constantly feel negative emotions, surrounding you. And of course, so that if no one else is laughing, at least you're laughing, right? As long as the joke is funny enough to you, right? You're not, the one thing I always do is, I always will create or make jokes or respond in a way where I know that I would find it very funny, and while other people may not. And considering that, at the end of the day, I'm the only person. Sorry, I was just thinking about the volcano thing. Uh, because I'm the person who has to, live with myself, I might as well learn ways to make myself laugh. And so that is what I do. So I definitely do want, your experiences or some of your jokes, some of your best jokes that you have made about yourself, given your, you know, current situation. And alongside that, do you end up using humor to maybe feel a little better, right? Or at least in, a worst case scenario, at least reduce the number of wrinkles we get in the frowning area. So yes, please do share all of those things. Please share your thoughts, your insights, your experiences, especially your experiences, so that we can get the conversation started. And of course, have a big old laugh, as long as you're laughing. And of course, with that said, it is Thursday evening, which does mean that the weekend is right around the corner. And so I do hope that you're preparing well for the weekend. And of course, with that said, this is Nareen Saif with MS. I am Nareen, and here's wishing you a good night, sweet dreams, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.